Now, why the fuck do you get rid of Damian Lillard to sign Miles fucking Turner?
We got right into it.
Yeah, we got right into it. Welcome back, everyone. TalkBall Tweakers, episode 25. We are talking free agency today. Joined by my co-host, Blake McQuarrie and Toussaint Fancher. As always, I am Jake the Snake Mazarski. How we doing?
I got to figure out a way to get the money by tomorrow.
Pretty good. I just found my tweaker of the week that I'll be sharing later in the week.
Got to figure out a way to get this money by tomorrow. Huh?
I
Got to figure out a way to get this money by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the feeling right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now. I feel good. Free agency. NBA free agency.
Them boys still reeling after Malik Beasley.
It's the first week of July.
I still can't believe Jakob Hurtle got $104 million.
Yeah.
Bro,
Let's
give me the money.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a fun episode.
throwing out
Let's do
bad
it. I'll read out a few moves, but first off, let's
Talk ball.
All right. So yeah, it's been a busy free agency so far. Day one, we got Mitch Marner traded to the Vegas Golden Knights. Vladislav Gavrikov to the New York Rangers. Vladimir Tarasenko to the Minnesota Wild. What do we think?
I didn't know we were talking about hockey.
Yeah.
We're not talking about hockey. Check out my channel for hockey.
I don't know about that one.
It's been crazy hockey free agency.
I don't know who you talk about, bro.
So NBA free agency. Actually, I'll read out a few of the moves, but we got Jacob Poeltl, $104 million to stay with the Raptors. The biggest news of the day is probably the Milwaukee Bucks waiving Damian Lillard to go sign and acquire Miles Turner.
That's the biggest news. I think is that biggest news of free agency so far, I think?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what else.
Dorian Finney-Smith. Miles
this
Turner.
is the biggest.
Miles Turner.
This is the biggest.
I'd say this is the biggest for sure.
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
It's not saying much, but it's the biggest.
Did you guys see what Windhorst said?
What do you say?
It's like mortgaging your mortgage to go buy a sports car. I just feel like it's just a desperate attempt to keep Giannis in Milwaukee and keep Giannis on a competitive team. But then again, it's not going to put the Bucks anywhere. They're still not good.
No, it's a smart move. It's not a move that benefits the franchise in any way.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't change them. They're not like favorites of the East. They stay in the same position they were.
Absolutely
but it makes
not.
sense because Dame is, I think he's like mid-30s by now. By the time he comes back, he'll be late 30s. He'll be a year older. He'll have 1 year left on his contract, and you don't know what you're coming back to. So it makes sense to let him go. On the other hand, I mean, he was 113. They're going to have to spread that over the next couple of years, so that's interesting. But I think it makes sense in the sense that, you're just going to leave Giannis on an island for himself. And I thought, I got to give shouts out to the Milwaukee Bucks front office. I thought they were just going to sit on their ass and do nothing and lie to Giannis and be like, we can get this and we can do that. But nah, they're actually making moves. And so as much as I like Dame, he didn't really do much for the Bucks. And so if you keep him there, you're really getting nothing from it. So the trade just allows a little bit more firepower, a little bit more youth, and a guy who has experience. So I like it.
I guess with the way the East is, too, the Bucks, not a favorite, but they could contend because of how bad the East is, and they have the best player in the East in Giannis, and it's not particularly close.
I'm looking at the starting lineup right now.
Yeah, could I guess their starting lineup right now?
Go ahead.
Turner, Giannis, Gary Trent Jr., Kuzma. I don't know who their point guard is.
Oh, Michigan legend.
Ryan Rollins. Shout out Detroit.
It's Ryan Rollins.
Yeah.
They're
Macomb legend.
They're gonna trade for someone. They really want to compete.
I mean, they have to. Yeah. That's not winning you the East.
No, I don't think they're done.
That is not winning you the East.
No, I don't think they're done. I think they're gonna go get another guard.
Shout out to Ryan, Michigan product, but that's not winning you the East, man.
Yeah, nah.
And Kuz too. Shout out Kuz, Flint Town. Yeah, I mean, as far as the Dame waiving goes, it's fucked up to me.
Yeah.
I just feel like, man, that was messed up on Milwaukee's end. I mean, I just feel like at least let him rehab and then maybe, get rid of him. But you are in a situation where there were reports where Giannis was pressing about what you guys are going to do this offseason and, what's going to happen. You got to try to create a winning team now after that plan went to shit. So
you have to do something.
I mean, you do have to do something. It does allow you to sign Miles Turner, so that's a little something.
To be fair, when he did this the first time, they also thought the same thing, and then they got Dame, and now he's hurt.
Yeah. So, I mean, it I don't know. Like we talked about it before. I stand on that hill. That was Giannis's doing 100%. All of this is Giannis's doing. It's Giannis's fault. He can't run from that.
No.
And I mean, you've seen the reports today from Chris Haynes, which I'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying that Giannis is disappointed and frustrated with them letting Dame go. Is he really? I mean, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It came out. I mean, we know Chris Haynes is cousins with Giannis's wife. I think it's a setup. They're trying to keep Giannis's reputation alive and well around the league. But yeah, I mean, it's his fault. So
Yeah.
Yeah, injuries suck. We talked about Dame, that he was probably done for the Bucks. Like, yeah, I just don't. They're not that good. And
I feel like you could have at least traded him or something, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like,
We talked about that
Is there
already.
no team that's not willing to take him on? I mean, like the Nets took on KD and let him
Someone's
sit.
willing to take.
Yeah,
on
like
Damian Lillard.
Tatum and Halliburton are
But-
missing all of next season. I know they're different. I know they're very different. But if you're a team that doesn't have a point guard, doesn't have veteran leadership,
You're desperate.
why don't you take a top 75 player of all time?
Maybe, but that's something you'd have to wait a whole year in advance for, and I don't think they have a year to waste with Giannis because Giannis has 2 years left on his deal, I believe.
Yeah, but we're saying
Yeah,
a
but
different team
for-
though, not
yeah,
Milwaukee.
for
Like
for
they
Dame-
didn't have to waive him; they could have traded.
No,
him.
but that's what I'm saying. Giannis has about 2 more years left. Same with Dame.
Yeah.
You wait a year. Guess what? You wasted a year. They're not an expensive team where they're going to go over the luxury tax. So you have to get somebody. You have to get the big contract out of there to at least appease Giannis to keep him there. Because every year we've seen this whole thing. Giannis exits early, and then does he want out? Does he want to leave? Next year, the same story's going to happen.
That's
So you got-
also the thing that sucks with the CBA though. It's like it's not sustainable for any team.
No.
It's about shit's gonna be bad in a minute.
Dude, there's
Like-
going to be a lockout.
Like, how the hell is Boston gonna keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? Like, if we're being for real,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be able to keep both of them. I just don't think that's sustainable at all.
No.
And I mean, you see it now. I mean, even like Shai's extension that he just signed today.
That's the biggest news, actually. I totally forgot about that, but continue.
Yeah, but I mean, it is. Yeah, in terms of like, yeah, because it's the richest. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, like, it's not. This isn't sustainable. The new CBA, it sucks. And you know who's fault of this? CJ McCollum, who's got traded to fucking Washington or New Orleans or Washington, right? Yeah, Washington.
From New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. We'll talk about Shai in a minute. Are there any free agent moves that you really like? If you need to think about it, I could start off.
Dorian Finney-Smith to Houston, 100%. Actually, I'll just say Houston in general. Houston is doing a great job. Like, I know we talked about it last week that Houston. I couldn't say Houston was a number 2 seed in the West right now. I think they are now.
Because of Dorian Finney-Smith?
No, because of Finney-Smith and Capella and how they plug into that lineup. I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, right now, did I say last week?
They got better.
Did I say last week that the Rockets are the second best team in the West?
Yeah.
I think it's LA once they get a center, but I agree that they're better.
Well,
than
you were
Minnesota.
saying that. He was arguing that.
Yeah, I was
too.
arguing LA, but I agree with that. I think Houston's an absolute dog of a team. I think they're an absolute threat for sure.
No, he was arguing that.
I was arguing.
Why are you taking it back?
No, I'm not. I'm not taking it. Did
I swear he was arguing. He was arguing Houston was the second best team in the West.
I said that until LA gets a center.
That is true. He did say
Okay,
until then.
because we were
and
talking
then
about
put a
the
bunch
ifs.
of
and then
ifs.
we were
talking about the ifs.
And then we were talking about Minnesota.
Yeah.
But right now, Houston's the second best team in the West, and I think they're a legitimate threat. They're
Yeah.
much more of a threat than next year.
Yeah,
It'll be
no.
I was just saying, it's gonna be interesting to see where they put Capella and Dorian Finney-Smith because their lineup is already kind of stacked in terms of the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be backups though. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why they're so dangerous.
That's why they
Yeah.
were so good last year too, because they were able to run so deep, and they had like Amon and Jabari Smith coming off the bench.
And you think about their defense, like Tari Eason, Dorian Finney-Smith, Amin Thompson,
Yeah.
Sengun, Capella.
yeah,
Bro, they're nasty.
yeah. They
That's
literally
why.
play 5v4 on that end with KD just standing there and watching.
That is why I say Houston, because that is disgusting right there. And then obviously Dorian Finney-Smith, you know I'm high on 3-and-Ds. The league is high on 3-and-Ds. That is exactly what Dorian Finney-Smith is. He struggled a little bit in LA. Everybody struggles in LA though if you're a role player. I don't know what it is. The lights, Lake Show, I don't know.
It's you're getting watched by our
But-
glorious king.
Facts. All of LeBron's sidekicks have never been that good.
That might be the biggest news too. Actually, LeBron's extension, which we'll talk about. But
we'll talk about that too. But that's why I'm so because I mean now they can run multiple starting lineups now. Like,
you think they're better than Minnesota now?
They can play. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I will take Houston now in a 7-game series against Minnesota. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the LA discussion we could have when LA actually does something. I think Houston's an absolute threat in the West. They're not OKC, but they have a Stone Cold Killer in Durant. Eamon Thompson's going to get better. Jabari Smith's going to get better. They're deep. They have one of the best coaches in the league in Ime, and they play defense. And it does like KD might not, but they have a dog everywhere else.
That's the biggest thing. Also, like they got Ime, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's their head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still got Fred VanVleet too at the helm for point guard. They still have everything.
They're the perfect
need.
balance of veteran leadership and youth.
Yeah.
And good coaching.
I mean, nobody thought that they were going to finish as a 2 seed.
Oh no.
Going into last season.
No.
And they got better.
So my question is, if they win it with KD, does his legacy jump?
Yeah, absolutely. Because then it's winning a ring and he's not like going to Steph. Like KD's legacy right now.
But
like,
but think about it. In the place
the legacy's still gonna be tarnished, but it'd make it a little bit better.
No, but I'm saying like all time. Because think about it. He's obviously top 20. He's probably closer.
Oh, you're saying does he
jump
increase
people in his legacy?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he would.
Absolutely.
So who is he jumping if he's...
Where would you put KD right now? Like 15 to 20? I'd put him 10 to 15. I'm really high on KD. I think he's the best scorer this game has ever seen.
He's top 15.
Yeah.
I'm without putting numbers in it because like I just don't want to do this right now. If KD wins the ring with Houston, it's his first ring without like a real first team All-Pro, All-Star, Hall of Famer. Like again, I'm not the person to say he went to the Warriors to win a ring, but he did go to the Warriors.
No, he did.
Yeah, or
everyone knows that.
Yeah, maybe not that, but he went to go get. People say like Steph carried him. It's wrong. KD won 2 Finals MVPs of MVP. KD.
Yeah, no, KD was the best player on that team.
Yeah, Griff. By the way, KD carried Steph. If KD goes to Houston, a really young team, and wins it with them, I think his legacy is top 10 player without a doubt in my mind. And assuming they win it, KD would get Final MVP if he's healthy too. So what is that? 3 Finals MVPs?
Yeah, 3 rings,
top
3
10,
Finals MVPs.
top 10 all time, and he's 37. Like I just don't know how he wouldn't bounce anyone, especially like.
I'm trying to think about who's 10th, or like 9th and 10th.
Who was the last? When was the last time the Houston Rockets won a championship? 94.
Yeah, with Hakeem.
Against the Knicks. Like, so for KD to do that when the Rockets have had better players, right? They had James Harden, who was one of the best scorers of this generation, and this isn't prime KD. But if KD goes down there and wins a ring and proves he's still a bad man, like, yeah, absolutely. And if he takes down the Thunder, too. Because that means that he had to take down the Thunder.
He's going to have to play well in that series.
Because all
You
roads.
have to play well the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
With them. I mean,
But especially the
young,
Thunder.
Because
he's the guy who's supposed to take them over the hump.
He's the experienced vet.
That would be a really cool villain arc, by the way.
So,
because KD's never played the Thunder in the playoffs. So if Houston ever plays the Thunder and stuff.
Yeah, and when he was in Oklahoma City, that interview, he was like, the dude asked him, will we ever see you in a Rockets jersey? He was like, no, absolutely not.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My favorite move, I'm going to stay in New York. I like the Knicks bringing Yabusele.
I love that move, too.
I mean, the
love
Knicks. The Knicks obviously need a lot of depth. They got Jordan Clarkson too. I just think that Yabusele has a much bigger ceiling, or higher ceiling rather. I think the Miles Turner move pretty much showed that the Bucks aren't moving Giannis anywhere. For the Knicks, that's finding a coach, but they saw the Pacers run 10 deep. They saw the Thunder run 10 deep, and they're just like, we need to run 10 deep. Those are 2 guys off the bench that give you immediate energy.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Yeah.
You also got Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Like,
My bad.
Yeah,
I'm not paying attention.
Yeah,
I was looking at
Hector was right. Now, is there any move you want to put in there before we talk about Bron and Shai?
I like Karis LeVert to the Pistons. That was a really good move. They said before
Going back to the midden. Back to the midden.
They said before the free agency began, Pistons weren't going to spend a lot of money because they got the young core. You don't want to rupture what they have going on, but you lose Dennis Schroeder to the Kings, and so now you get another vet who's been in the league a few years, can get you buckets. He'll be good off the bench. He'll provide a lot of good scoring opportunities. Schroeder wasn't a bad scorer, but Karis LeVert's a
much better scorer.
Much better.
And he's bigger. He's a bigger body for defense as well, so you get that. I really like that.
I'll tell you right now, still one of my biggest gripes in all my Brooklyn Nets fandom was them trading LeVert in the James Harden trade, because I genuinely thought Kyrie, KD, and LeVert were going to win us a ring that year.
Yeah.
Because LeVert was so freaking good.
He was.
No, like LeVert has been a nasty. I just think everywhere he's gone, he just hasn't really gotten that opportunity.
Because everywhere
He's
he's
always been
gone,
behind someone.
He's been
on a good
behind
team.
somebody on a very
and now he's
going to
be behind.
Yeah, now he's gonna be
Cade.
behind.
And now he's behind Cade, but I think in Detroit it opens up for him a little bit better. Now you do have Ivy coming back from injury.
Yeah.
So I think that's also something he's gonna have to work around. But I mean, if you don't return Beasley, I mean, there's a slot right there open for you in the second rotation.
Oh yeah, totally.
true.
And
So
sorry to cut you off. I also think in Cleveland, like Cleveland had so much depth too. LeVert was coming off the bench, but you have guys like Max Strus, Ty Jerome.
Yeah.
Ty Jerome's going to be an interesting guy to watch. And Karis LeVert's role is to be that sixth man, that type of scorer, that type of bucket getter.
yep.
In Detroit, assuming they return most of their guys, which they will, you got Cade, budding superstar, and then Karis LeVert and Jaden Ivey running the twos. And once again, goes to that depth point. And LeVert can score, and he's always been able to score. So I really like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Biggest news. Do we start with the
start with
second GOAT, or do we start with the Finals MVP?
We're gonna start with the Finals MVP.
Let's start with the Finals MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signs an extension to stay in Oklahoma City. Breaking news, am I right? Nah. Annual value of $71.25 million.
Largest.
Richest annual salary for a player in NBA history, and he left over $100 million on the table.
Well,
Yeah. 4 years, $285 million, by the way.
well, he did, yes.
But he had to wait another year if he wanted to
But
keep that.
if he would have signed, I mean, yeah, but if you go off the contract, though, if he would have signed the 5 year, he wouldn't have left the money off the table. So
Yeah.
technically,
Also, like, doesn't matter for Shai because
it
he's gonna
just
get a
gives him an
second
extra
contract.
year for money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how much there is to say.
Because if he would have signed the 5 year, it would have been like 300.
Yeah, it would have been a little.
something.
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest at math, but it would have been
No, that's-
300. Whatever.
Now they're just gonna sign J-Dub. They're gonna sign Chet, and the dynasty is gonna loom large.
I mean, yes, but I think what still stands is when we talked about it, is I want to divide this up real quick though. I think what still stands is they're still gonna lose a role player or two.
Yeah, they're still going to lose a role player just based on the money.
Yep.
But, they can obviously make that back. They drafted Sorber, and they got Brooks Barnheiser, so.
Yeah.
Let's go. No, sorry.
So I mean, I like that Shai got his money though. I mean,
have
he absolutely
four bigs,
deserved
though.
it. So yeah,
That's ridiculous.
71.25 mil a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he would have got the 5 year, then he wouldn't have left money on the table. It just gives him an extra year for money. But that also, then again though, still like it hurts, and it can be a win-lose for them. Because then again, now you have to kind of re-sign him in 4 years instead of 5, which
Doesn't matter though.
it doesn't really matter. That's why it's like
Yeah. And then again, the Thunder, assuming they keep the
Like
same
he-
management and coaching in place, they could
Yeah.
pay guys $1 to come off the bench.
like he didn't take a pay cut, but he did kind of do him a favor not signing the 5 year
Yeah.
contract. So
Like he didn't do what Brunson did, which was like actively take a pay cut.
yeah,
But
no,
the
he
years
didn't take a
obviously
pay cut at
help
all.
out.
Absolutely not. Yeah, the I think the extra year just helps a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of balance that
For
with
sure.
J-Dub and Chet, and then what role players are they going to keep?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think many of their contracts are up yet though.
They're not. Like there's not that many. They have Lou Dort for another year. Like the Thunder are pretty much running it back.
Yeah.
And they're going to run it back for the next 10 years with that core in place. And it doesn't matter who they have around them, in my opinion. Yeah, I just don't even know what else to say about the Thunder, really. Like, it's just Shai got paid. He deserves to get paid. And they're the favorite. And no matter what any other team does as free agency, they're still going to be the favorite.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, everybody's signed. I mean, they re-signed the other J. Will.
Yeah.
Everybody else is signed.
I did see they re-signed the other day.
Everybody else is signed through next year. So, like, J-Dub's contract is up next summer.
Yeah.
I think Chet's contract is up next summer. I mean, that's really it. Everybody else is signed through 2020.
Go on vacation,
6-7.
Sam Presti. It's time.
So,
Go get some much-deserved rest.
So yeah, I mean, they run it back. They run it back this season, and then that's what's just going to be interesting though about it is next season. What is Chet and J-Dub going to do this year? How is that contract going to look? How are those contracts going to look next summer? That's where it gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
They could supermax one of them. Like I think J-Dub's going to get the supermax, and then Chet's going to get something close to it.
You can, but you have to be careful though with
You do have to be careful.
the new CBA rules.
But then again, I trust Sam Presti.
Yeah, that's true. It's Sam Presti.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We'll see. I don't know. Shout out to Shai. All right, moving on.
LeBron James exercises his $52.6 million player option to keep him in Los Angeles in the 25-26 season, right?
Yep.
I think the biggest thing to take from this, though, and it's obvious, like there didn't even need to be a report, but LeBron is willing to go to another team if the Lakers don't build a championship roster.
I've been saying this for the last 5 years.
So how long until the Lakers make a move? And when the Lakers make a move, I'll do it right now. They're the second best team in the West.
Well, you heard what they said. There was a report out that they wanted to save money for 2027 for a big contract.
For Luka?
No, just in general.
No, because Luka's signed.
Yeah, Luka's signed forever.
No, they're just saying in general. They want to wait.
Luka can sign in August.
So they're gonna sign Luka.
That's the expectation right now.
They're obviously gonna.
Is Luka's gonna sign a long term?
You don't make that trade without signing Luka. But then again, they didn't even give up that much for Luka. In full honesty.
No. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. LeBron. This is the first time LeBron's ever done it.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, you see Wendy coming out and saying he's talked to a lot of teams. A lot of teams did not prepare for that.
Yeah.
So that's what's very interesting. I just think the trade value just isn't there. I mean, you want to like it realistically. Let's say he requests a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want to trade for a 40-year-old LeBron James? It's a 1, maybe 2-year rental.
To win a ring.
You want to do that.
To win a ring, depending on what the return is. I mean, LeBron averaged 25 last year, 25, 7, and 8. Like, he's still a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
And so if you're a team like Cleveland, which is one that everybody's connecting to, they don't have a top 10 player. LeBron makes them better, and I think you're willing to mortgage your future to do that because you saw a team, maybe not OKC because OKC's okay fucking C.
Yeah.
But let's go with, I don't know, I got to think of one. Like Boston, when they traded for Drew Holiday, gave up some people. Their future is murky and stuff. For a team like Cleveland, I think you're willing to mortgage it.
The thing with Boston, though, is they had to do that, though.
They did.
In terms of money. Now, what's interesting with Cleveland is I do agree that, yes, if they trade for LeBron, they have a very good chance at winning the East. Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the other end, though, okay, yeah, you do win a championship. You have a very good chance at winning. I'm not going to say you win a championship. You have a very good chance at winning a championship.
Yeah.
But on the other end of that, though, that could be LeBron's last year. And he just wants one. I think he just wants one more ring. He wins that ring and he retires.
Absolutely.
So then
he's pulling a pen.
So then you give up. Like they're gonna have to. They would have to give up Garland. They would have to give up probably Jared Allen and a few picks or something.
Yeah.
To get LeBron. Do you want to do that? Because
to
then
win a ring.
To win a ring, do you want to do that?
I mean, I'm not Cleveland's front office, but absolutely, I think any team. Especially
that's where I'm at with it. That's the discussion that I'm having with myself to decide on like where I stand with it because yes, like obviously they have a very good chance of winning a ring. Do you take that risk though is what I'm saying. And on the other end, it's Cleveland. So yes, like absolutely they owe that to LeBron at the end of the day. Like there's that relationship there between them.
I don't even think they owe it to LeBron, but I think when we were growing up, we saw LeBron make 9 straight finals in the Eastern Conference.
Let me rephrase they owe it to LeBron. In terms of that, I mean
an incredible arc.
I don't mean that they owe it to LeBron because at the end of the day they don't. But I mean there's that relationship and that history there that it's like it's like you're I don't know.
No, you're completely right. I mean like there's
favorite ex-girlfriend or something.
No, like I said it before we started talking, there's never been an arc in any sport like this where hometown kid gets drafted by hometown team, doesn't win, goes somewhere else, wins rings, comes back willingly,
Yeah.
wins a famous ring, only team ever to come back from
Yeah.
3-1 in the finals, against the best regular season team ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Then leaves again, wins a ring, and then goes back to end his career. That would be an incredible arc.
So I guess what I'm saying is, like, in terms of Cleveland doing it, I would understand them doing it, and I think they would only do it because it is LeBron.
I think Cleveland would do it because they would make them the best team in the East.
That's
This season, the East is so wide open even when Halliburton and Tatum come back.
Yeah.
I think if they get LeBron and LeBron plays 1-2 more years, it's worth it for Cleveland. I think it's worth giving up Garland, who didn't play well in the playoffs and was hurt. I think it's worth giving up Jared Allen because those guys are semi-replaceable. They're good. They're top 100 players in the league. If you're bringing LeBron and he's averaging 25, right? LeBron's not going anywhere. LeBron's not taking a significant drop-off, we assume, right? The guy's healthy. He's very good at basketball. Bring that leadership into that young court with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell now becomes the best number 2 in the league, arguably. And the East is already really weak. And we grew up watching LeBron plow through the East no matter who it is. And the East is arguably worse now. And so the Thunder exists, but it gives LeBron. But you never know once you get to the finals.
It really depends on how stupid Rob Pelinka, or how dumb Rob Pelinka is. Because if he wants a whole boatload of stuff for LeBron, then it wouldn't make any sense for Cleveland to do it to gut 10 years into their future, even if it does mean potentially a higher chance at a ring with LeBron.
Yeah.
But if the Lakers, let's say they want maybe 3 draft picks, 1 or 2 players.
Who holds them, or finish your thing?
Yeah, something like that. You know, maybe an extra player that they find interesting. I would do it. It would make sense as long as they don't disrupt the young core. I think it makes sense.
Let me ask you guys this question. Right now, who holds more leverage in this situation? Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office, or LeBron?
Oh, LeBron.
Or leverage?
More leverage. I think it's LeBron. And I think if LeBron says he wants to go, they're going to trade him, and I think they're going to trade him at a discount. I think if you're the Lakers and he says he wants to go, they're not going to get a great return on him. And that's fine. They're going to get something. They're obviously going to get something.
LeBron's been bluffing for 5 years, and Luka Doncic
More
just
than
got
5
to the
years.
team.
Yeah.
They're not trading him. Even if he
No,
asked
I
for
don't
a
think they're
trade.
trading him now. I think if you get to the trade deadline and they're not a contender in Cleveland's first place in the East, which is a very possible thing.
But I still don't. I think the Lakers will be fine
Yeah,
when they get to the trade deadline.
Yeah. I mean, look, I just spent the entire past 2 episodes saying the Lakers are going to be fine, and I do think they're going to be fine. Once again, it's an if scenario.
Now, fine is relative because they could obviously not get a center for a year and then still be in the hunt for the playoffs, knowing that they're not going to win the title, and they'll be fine. But in terms of real aspirations to win the title, they got to go get a center.
Yeah.
And the guys they've all wanted are gone.
Yeah. I'm dominating this segment. I'm going to pose one more question. Right now, does LeBron have a better chance to win a championship with the Lakers or with Cleveland?
Cleveland. The East is weak. Cleveland with LeBron can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Think about it. Whoever else is in the Eastern Conference Finals is way beneath them if they're healthy and they have LeBron.
I think it is. I think it is Cleveland because of what the East looks like. The West is very wild. Yeah. Very wild.
I still think they'd be a top team in the West.
No, they
Who, the
will.
Lakers?
But
No, the Cavs.
I'd say
would
they're
be a
third.
top team in the West.
A top team, not
with
the
LeBron,
top
with
team.
LeBron or just right now? Right now,
That's the thing,
if you
though.
put the
Yeah,
Cavs
that's-
right now in the West, I think they're the 5th best team.
Yeah.
I think right now, if you had to put the Cavs in the West, say geography changed, Thunder better, Rockets better, Lakers once they get a big better, and Timberwolves arguably.
Okay, who's better than them in the West? If they go to the West,
In the West,
Thunder, Rockets.
Lakers if they get a center. Right now,
Yeah, but that's okay without the center.
without the center, fine. Thunder, Rockets, Timberwolves. Yes,
That's a
no?
toss up. You
Fine.
could go you could go either one.
Yes, no, fine. What about I still maybe would say the Lakers. I it's still LeBron.
I think the
Luka.
Cavs are better than the Lakers.
If they have LeBron.
No,
Or if they-
as they
without
are
LeBron.
now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
because
I
they
mean-
have a better team.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not gonna push back on that. I just think LeBron and Luka are much more valuable.
Let's be for real here. The Lakers right now. The Lakers don't have a complete team.
No,
Yeah, they
absolutely
don't.
not.
They don't.
Absolutely.
So like.
I think the
don't-
Cavs are the 4th best.
I don't think
in
it's a
the
much
West.
big discussion right there about if the Cavs they're better than them right now. They don't have.
So
Lakers do not have a complete
they're
team.
4th best in the West. So I'm saying like with LeBron, they're going to the finals if they're healthy. with the leadership of LeBron James still
in the East, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think even
absolutely.
if it happens next offseason and stuff, and LeBron gets traded back to the East, I still think whatever team LeBron gets traded to, they're the favorite in the East. Halliburton might come back. Is coming back from Achilles. Tatum coming back. Doesn't matter.
I just think at the end of the day, though, we're not going to see LeBron get traded. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, we are talking a lot of hypotheticals here, and a lot of that is my.
I mean, like, if you look at it, he's making $53 million. He has a no trade clause. Like, he would control all sides of that trade.
Yeah,
also a man
and that's
that,
why Cleveland is a place, because he'd want to go to Cleveland.
But he's also, you got to remember, he's a guy who controls the media, his own media perspective. Like, he controls it. Yeah. So, like, he would never want to, he will always want to be in control. Like, send me directly to that place, no place else, or I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And to be honest, though, if he really want to get traded, is he really opting into a $53 million contract?
No.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, I don't think he wants to be traded right now, and I don't think we're saying that. He wants the Lakers to build a championship roster.
He wants to build a team. Literally, all they have to do is just get a center. Like, it's not that
good
big.
center.
Like, they just have to get a substantial good center. Like, that's all they need.
Yeah. LA, why did you let Phoenix get Mark Williams?
I feel like they have to get a little bit better of a bench.
Trade a first for Mark Williams. Mark Williams is a top 15 big in the league. He's a rebounder. He's a guy that has a 7'4" wingspan. If you get someone that could play that role, you have a good shooter in Rui Hachimura, and then you have two of the best players of this generation, LeBron and Luka.
Yeah.
Who says you can't beat the Thunder? I mean, I'm saying they can't beat the Thunder right now, but if you get a big, then
you get a
it's
big
possible.
though. Like, that is literally what Luka needs to be Luka.
The two guys that they looked for in free agency was one, Mark Williams, who went to the Suns, who have 4 big men, and Ryan Kalkbrenner, who they won in the draft. All they had to do was trade up like 15 more spots, give up a few more assets.
Who did the Lakers even? They got Thero.
They got Thero, which I really like.
That's a good player, but they need Kalkbrenner would have been nice. Kalkbrenner's 7'2", 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, really solid. All they need him to do is anchor the middle, like AD did.
Yeah,
and you got yourself elite rim protection.
I think they're just gonna go get Ayton, which
I think they're gonna get Ayton too. And I mean, if there were gonna be trades, I still think Sabonis is possible.
Sabonis is possible, but like, what would they have to give to get?
Yeah,
Sabonis?
that's the thing. You'd probably have to give Rui, and then
I mean,
picks.
I would do it. Rui and a few picks for
Sabonis. I'd do that.
I mean,
I would do that.
I feel like Sacramento's going to ask for AR.
Well, Sacramento was,
and then you say no. And Sacramento's not in that position.
Sacramento's got a bunch of bricks for brains in their front office. When people do deals with the Kings and the Bulls, they're rejoicing.
I love the Sacramento.
That is very true.
You could finesse the Kings.
That is very true.
You can finesse the Kings.
You can finesse Sacramento.
They're pretty stupid.
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
I love the Sacramento Kings, but they're only relevant because of a motherfucking beam. And so their front office has their front office since that year where they were
as a franchise.
That year when they were the 3 seed in the West and they lost to Curry in Game 7 when Curry dropped 50. That Kings team was good. They were fun, but they were never a contender. They pretty much lose everyone, and they've swung and missed on trades. DeRozan didn't work. Zach LaVine, like they're not going.
They literally just traded for the Bulls.
For the Bulls, like
the Bulls playing players,
and the Bulls weren't
and
doing anything.
And we saw how that worked.
So dumb.
Double A, I want you on this podcast right now to come tell me how the Bulls are doing, because that's what the Sacramento Kings are, and they're in the West, so they're not going in.
You could get Sabonis for some pennies.
They'll go get Sabonis, or the Warriors will go get Sabonis.
I mean, that is true.
No, wait. What did he get traded for from the Pacers? Because it depends.
He got
Halliburton, and
that was also like 5 years ago. It was Halliburton.
True, but they're gonna want to at least get back the value they traded.
It was Halliburton, Trey Lyles. I think Trey Lyles was in that trade.
And I feel like they might put too much stock into the fact it was like we traded around Tyrese Halliburton, so we want someone of that caliber.
That was a 6-player deal though. Like that was like a I think it was a 3-team. I think that was a 3-team trade.
Yeah, Sabonis is over 30. It won't happen anymore like that.
Yeah, go get Sabonis or
it was a 3-team. I think it was a 3-team trade.
No, but I really do like the.
Oh no, it wasn't a 3-team trade. They had got Indiana got Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. For Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a 2nd-round pick.
Okay, yeah, that's doable. You're talking about Tristan Thompson, Buddy Hield, and Tyrese Halliburton before he thought he was anything.
Yeah.
So, go trade some G League players for Sabonis. Let's go to it. Let's go do it. Hurry up. Yeah. It's the Kings.
I think Aiden's a good one for them too. Former #1 overall pick. Obviously hasn't hit his ceiling, but he's still a good big. He's still a good rim protector.
I feel like
LA's a great scene.
I don't know, but I feel like he's gonna get distracted.
Yeah, he might.
Like to the point where he just stops caring about the game. Because in stretches, remember in Phoenix there were stretches where he was just like he check out mentally, and it was like they'd have to bench him because he wouldn't want to play the game.
Yeah, Portland, he wouldn't go to games because he couldn't get down his driveway because of the snow.
I'm saying, like, you're talking about a guy who genuinely doesn't really care about the game of basketball. He just wants a fat contract.
I guess, but if you're the Lakers, what choice do you have?
Nothing.
Because if Aiden's the best free agent on the market, you're willing to take that chance. You're absolutely willing to take that chance.
I would rather trade a bunch of my assets than go get a guy I know is finicky.
So would I. But again, the trading, I do it all the time, so I'm being hypocritical. It's very hypothetical. Like the Lakers could go check in on Sabonis, and the Kings could hang up the phone, and then the Lakers go, "What's our deal now?"
If they get Ayton, they better sign him for relatively cheap. Like that, don't spend a whole lot of money on him.
I think he'll be relatively cheap.
Don't give him like even half a max. Don't even give him that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the Sabonis. It's just what do you have to? What's the price here?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Lakers
I think it's gonna be Ayton though. I do.
Yeah, Lakers need a big. I'm trying to think of what other centers are even available.
They need like two bigs, in my opinion. Like a forward who's tall, like a tall forward, like another tall big forward. Doesn't have to be a center.
Do they need that though?
They need rim protection. That's what they need.
They absolutely do.
And so if they can get, because look at the Thunder. They got a 7-footer in Chet and 6'10" Hartenstein protecting the rim.
I know, but you're not going to be able to replicate what the Thunder do.
Yeah.
Well, remember the last but I've been saying this for forever. The last time the Lakers won a title, they had two bigs. They had Dwight Howard and they had Anthony Davis. And they won. And then they got rid of JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
And they got rid of JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Yeah. And then guess what happened? AD had to play two positions at once. And then they didn't win anything.
And AD didn't want to play the 5.
Exactly. Yeah. So literally, it's not rocket science. If you just go get Ayton and then go get a tall forward who's good at blocking shots.
I agree, especially because the free agent class for centers is terrible. I mean, listen to this. Like, Charles Bassey, Jackson Hayes, Tristan Vukovic, Thomas Bryant, Tristan Thompson, Taj Gibson, DeAndre Jordan, Al Horford. I could see Al Horford going there, but off the bench. Mortis Wagner, but I'm assuming that Orlando.
Oh, Mo Wagner isn't bad.
Really good.
That's not bad.
Mo Wagner would be
really free agent. Go get him.
I'm assuming Orlando's going to re-sign him. But then again, Orlando
needs to resign him. Actually, like that would be a huge loss for them.
I don't know if they need to because they have Wendell Carter, but you're right.
No, they need to resign him. Absolutely.
Yeah,
they need to resign Mo Wagner.
Lakers need to go jump on that.
So yeah, that would actually be Mo Wagner is a very good role player.
But yeah, that's a disgusting big man free agent class.
He's also hurt right now.
It's true.
Wagner. But then again, it's worth it. It's obviously worth it.
It is worth it. Absolutely.
If you're
bunch of wash players and has-beens.
Go get a big Lakers because they have a shot. And
they need to.
Yeah. Jesus, this free agent class is terrible. For the centers. In the East.
We talk about the MPJ trade or?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it. It's completely meaningless.
Yeah, I know. We can talk about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Sure. So Michael Porter Jr. gets traded to the Nets with a 2030 on protected first round or 2032, one of those. The Nets give Cam Johnson to the Nuggets. I like this a lot more for the Nuggets because I think Cam Thomas fits what they do, and he actually passes the ball.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas passes the ball?
Oh, did I say Cam Thomas? I meant Cam Johnson. Johnson.
Okay.
I saw a tweet today because I'm a Nets fan, and I'm just like, I understand why the Nets drafted 5 people that could pass in the first round because you have Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
Michael Porter Jr., he took it up 30 shots a game. In the Nets jersey?
He ain't passing that shit.
No, him and Cam Thomas
he ain't passing that shit.
Him and Thomas will be very...
They're gonna just call it straight ISOs.
Shot chucking.
They're gonna be straight ISOs.
MPT's not even calling it ISO. He's just shooting the 3 over whoever he's playing.
No, absolutely.
No, I like Cam Johnson for Denver,
hilarious.
though. I really like Cam Johnson for Denver. He's a guy that could do it on both sides of the floor, and he has absolutely no ego. Let Jokic and Murray cook. I'll be standing in the corner. I'll make a shot if you need. I'll play defense if you need.
Oh, yeah.
Plus,
the
Nuggets saved like over $10 million in cap space because I think MPJ was like 33 million and Cam Johnson's like 21.
Cam Johnson's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, it's 21. So
and for the Nets, like I will say, they have the most cap room in the league. So one of you texted me the Nets are just making a move to make a move when this came out. I think that was you.
Yeah,
like they are, and it makes them a little better. But the Nets are they're not done, and they're gonna do something, and they're gonna make it.
They need a.
It's like you had no. I wouldn't even say identity because like it's like you don't really have an identity with Michael Porter Jr. But it's like you had no like perennial proven player.
I agree.
Cam Thomas, yes, is a very good player, but then again, he was inconsistent.
He missed 54 games last.
Yeah, and he's not He's not proven.
I also think
So I just think to finish.
Give
I
the
just
rock
think
to
that-
the Israeli D'Angelo Russell.
I think in terms like you need to at least get better at some point. So any opportunity that if you're Brooklyn that
Absolutely.
you do it.
And I don't.
And
ca-
I think that's what
I don't
this
care
is.
that during the draft they were showing the Nets draft room clapping after every pick, and they got 5 picks, first time in NBA history that's ever happened. The Nets did not walk out of that draft happy. They clearly wanted to make a move. They clearly wanted to trade up and go get Ace. They clearly wanted to make a move for someone better than Michael Porter Jr., and it didn't happen. And the draft, they drafted 5 first-round picks, all of who have potential, but it's going to clog up an already young roster. And the 2 moves they made this offseason were trading for Terrence Mann and trading for Michael Porter Jr. Neither of those guys are game changers. The Nets are still a bottom 2 or bottom 3 team in the East, and so you're just hogging money. And so until you make a real move, that's why they were in on Giannis accordingly, or assumingly they were in on De'Aaron Fox. They were in on these guys because they can be. They're not happy right now. Sean Marks could say he is. They're absolutely not. And I don't think they're happy after the Michael Porter Jr. thing either. I think the Nuggets did not want Michael Porter Jr.
You're a little bit
Per
more.
The Athletic, the Lakers are looking at Al Horford.
Oh, bad. But for
what?
Lakers to the finals.
For what, bro?
He's like 41.
I know. For what? That's just that's stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, because I cut you guys off a million times. The last thing with the Nets, like, it's a meaningless trade. It's a meaningless trade. I just hope Michael Porter Jr. brings his hot girlfriend to games.
I mean, it gives y'all this dude, bro.
I'm completely serious.
That's the only benefit.
I'm completely serious. I don't like Michael Porter Jr. on my team. He's a good scorer, but either he's always hurt or he doesn't pass the ball. I love Cam Thomas. He's a bucket. The year I was at Michigan, I thought Michigan was going to lose to LSU in the tournament because Cam Thomas dropped 30. And I love Cam Thomas. I think he's an absolute. I'll stand on it. I still think he's a top 30 pure scorer in the league.
Yeah, I
But
give you that.
he's hurt all the time, and he's clearly not a number 1. And Michael Porter Jr. hurt all the time, clearly not a number 2.
Hey, listen.
So what are they doing?
Hey, we might see some real ISO hoops next season for the Nets.
And guess what? It doesn't matter because nobody watches the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, you guys
And they're
are
not going
there's
anywhere.
The NBA TV's not even gonna pick up a.
They're not going anywhere.
Oh,
I mean, like
The
let's
Nets-
be for
the
make
Nets
sure
are-
it makes y'all like a little bit better.
It makes them better, but the Nets already lost the offseason.
It makes it more interesting.
What? Sure, it does.
It
But
does.
all right, do you guys?
getting tight.
But the Nets already lost the offseason. They lost the lottery when they were terrible. They got a player that'll make them better, even though they'll still lose the lottery. They got 5 first-round picks and took on bad contracts to get more picks, which they were supposed to trade for Ace Bailey, who had superstar potential. They don't trade for Ace Bailey. The draft goes absolutely unperfect for them. Fear's gone. Trey Johnson gone. They go Igor fucking Demin at 8. He is not the number 8 overall pick. The guy averaged 10 per game in college. You take 4 other first-round picks, all of who, yes, they have potential, more flaws than potential in every single one of them. None of them are going to change the Brooklyn Nets. And I hope I'm wrong. And so if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you have 15 players, all of who could be a role player on the NBA team.
Listen,
it's literally like...
here's where you're at. Okay, with Pistons fans, when I was born, they were just coming off. They were just winning the championship.
Yeah, you don't
Since
know
then,
about-
they hadn't done jack squat. So you're gonna have to.
You're telling me about bad sports team? I'm a New York Jets fan.
Exactly. So my point is, you're in that process where you had the 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
You sold all their
exactly.
contracts away, and now you're in this place where you're gonna have to rebuild everything.
I still think this is all Nike's fault. If Nike made KD's shoe a little smaller, the Nets are champions. I'm so serious.
Or you could blame God, because if God's made his foot a half inch, no.
That works too.
No.
That works too. The
That's
Brooklyn-
hilarious.
I
the
just
Net-
think it's not your guys' time yet, and
It's obviously not their time. It's obviously they lost the offseason already.
Let's
They
see some
could put
Igor
on-
Demin buckets.
They could put on every fake smirk they want. They lost the offseason already. There's nothing they could do to make them better. And they could sign the best free agent. Who's the best free agent on the market right now? Best free agent on the market right now.
right now,
Right now.
I don't even know. It's bad free agents.
Or trade candidate. Give me a trade candidate too.
free agents still available.
Like, say the Nets traded for De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
Because that was possible last year, apparently. They're still a play-in team.
I mean,
Well, De'Aaron Fox doesn't really change any
Read the top
franchise.
free agents. Read the top free agents.
it's not looking too nice.
Read them. Read them.
Say Precious Achua?
Read them. Read them.
Precious Achua,
Read 'em. Yeah.
Trey Alexander,
Yeah.
Taron Armstrong, whoever that is, Marvin Bagley, Delano
I don't need another
Stanton.
rapper on my team.
Go get Marvin Bagg.
Go get Imani Bates.
I'm saying that would be nasty.
The Nets need to be bad, and they need to get luck in the lottery.
He needs a real shot too. Not no Cleveland charge.
Marjan Beauchamp and get him.
Jesus fucking
Malcolm.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Malcolm.
Jesus fucking Christ. And like, the East is so wide open.
This is not even.
And you draft 5 22-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean.
Wally Dante from Oregon?
Oh, he was nice,
good, bro.
Yeah, so if you're the Nets, what do? You do nothing. You lost. You lost the offseason. You lost it. And the next year, even if Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas win you 30 games, 26 games like
Go
they
get
won
out
last
Horford,
season?
bro.
It's on that.
Okay. Quinn
You
Grimes.
blow my
Quinn and
mind.
Grimes. I would take Quinn and Grimes.
You absolutely would take Quinn Grimes.
Yeah, but what does that do for them? It makes them like an 11th best team in the East.
I mean, you're just getting Cam Thomas that's 6'5", that isn't getting hurt.
So I'd rather not spend money on Quinn. I'd rather not spend money on Quinn and Grimes and hope I do well in the lottery, or the Nets have a baffling amount of picks.
Hope you do good in the lottery. The lottery just passed, buddy, and you selected Igor Jimenez.
Josh Giddey, get the Giddler.
He's talking about next lottery, buddy. The lottery just ended.
The Brooklyn Nets 2025-26 season is over. I'm ready to call it over. It is done. They're not making the postseason. They're not making the play. It is done. It's over.
Just finished last week.
Okay, and the Nets are already eliminated. Put the E and the dash next to the Brooklyn Nets. It's over. It's over. Michael Porter Jr. is going to be at the Amber Room next week in New York.
You might as well just get a whole bunch of old legends and put them in the Brooklyn uniform and have them go out there.
I'd literally rather sign Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
I'm saying that would be tough.
Josh Giddey.
I do not want
Giddler.
No,
P. Giddy.
I don't need P. Giddy. I don't need Josh Giddey. I want AJ DeBonsa. The season's over. You're done. Brooklyn Nets, sell out Barclays Center. The most exciting thing in the Barclays Center, and you know how pissed I am right now. The most exciting thing at the Barclays Center right now is the New York fucking Liberty.
That's true.
Get Kuminga.
Well, I don't need no cum. What is the cum bucket gonna do for the Brooklyn Nets? What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do?
Just package all your picks from this year and send them next year to go get the number 1 pick.
This was so obviously gonna happen. The Nets had their chance to win a championship with 3 of the top 75 players of all time on their team. They blew it. They didn't manage it right, and now they're reaping all the consequences.
Oh my goodness.
They are bad. Their season's over, and I'll call their 26-27 season over unless they trade for a star. Bro, Ace Bailey's in Utah looking at the mountains. Like, why did you not get Ace Bailey? Was it a first-round pick?
You get Russell Westbrook 20, 20, and 10 every game.
Oh, great. What, one more win? I'm another guy who could barely pass anymore.
You know what I think? I think you should just spend money to be interesting. Don't even spend money. So like
That's what they're doing. That's why they traded for Michael Porter fucking Jr.
Yeah. So go sign Russ, make it interesting, tank, and then go get the number 1 pick.
Fine. I want the number 1 pick. I want AJ DeBonsa to be on my basketball team next year.
Okay.
AJ, I know you're listening to this. So come join. Come join the dark side. We're not even the dark side.
Yeah, after the rant you just gave, I don't think he wants to go to Brooklyn.
You guys are cooked, bro.
They've been cooked. They've been cooked, bro. Whatever. This is way too much time on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm sorry. Their season's over. We won't talk about the Brooklyn Nets for the rest of time.
They might be the most interesting team in the league just based off the fact that they chose 5 first-round picks.
They might be the most interesting team in the league just because I'm a fan of them. And I have anger issues. I don't know. Who else is winning free agency, or what's a storyline that we should track? Because we don't have too much time. I have class.
There's nothing else really out there.
I mean, I think we covered
some stuff here and there. You want to talk about NFL? Because there's some NFL trades.
Yeah, let's go main NFL.
Talk about NFL.
Yeah, let's go fast. Main NFL move right here. The Pittsburgh Steelers trade for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. They give up Minkah Fitzpatrick and a few other things.
So stupid.
Does this push the needle for Pittsburgh at all?
No. Why the
hell? They just make trades to make trades.
Why did you give up Minkah Fitzpatrick?
For Jalen Ramsey?
For Jalen Ramsey.
A year or two of Jalen Ramsey? Now, I will say they did say in reports they wanted Jonnu Smith because Darryl Washington, I think it's Darnell Washington, tore his ACL or something? Yeah, so he's out for the year. So they got Jonnu Smith, which is good for them.
No, I like Jonnu Smith.
They have Pat Freiermuth, too. Yeah. They have like 6 tight ends.
I know, but
it's just Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith now, really.
Yeah, I guess because Washington.
Yeah.
I like the Jonnu Smith move because you can you need 2 tight ends in the NFL.
But I just don't understand why they got rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen
exactly.
Ramsey.
Especially if you're contending, which is what they need to do when you have a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. The thing that I think is the biggest problem is that they're literally doing what the New York Jets did, which is just bringing older guys to fill in gaps, and it's clearly not going to work, especially in the highest scoring division in football when you have 2 of the top 3 highest scoring offenses in football.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how good Joey Porter Jr. And Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey are. A good offense is better than a good defense.
This might be the sassiest team ever assembled. You got Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and Jalen Ramsey all in one team.
That's going to be interesting because DK and Jalen Ramsey hate each other.
They hate each other.
I'm saying.
Did you see ESPN show the photo of them fighting or the video of them fighting?
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. They hate each other.
And now you got Aaron Rodgers to calm it all down. Guys, stop.
I got asked. Don't worry, guys. I have ayahuasca in my locker.
We'll go
back there and we'll go watch some film.
They probably got an ayahuasca room in the Steelers facility.
Bro, I wish Hard Knocks was the AFC North this year, not last year, because that would be so interesting. Like, because every team in the AFC North is so interesting. The Ravens are the Ravens, the Bengals are the Bengals, the Steelers have Aaron Rodgers, and the Browns Shadur Sanders is its own story.
Yeah,
to be fair, this trade it brings out the CTE in the Steelers because it's like now you got Jalen Ramsey and you got DK on the same squad.
Do the Steelers make the playoffs?
No. I don't. This isn't a difference because they trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Oh, and there's rumors that they might trade TJ Watt. So
yeah,
why
because they're not paying him.
Yeah,
TJ Watt's pissed right now.
Yeah,
because they're not paying him.
He should be so pissed.
So
he's the one guy in the defense they need to pay.
Yeah, it's not the best relationship between Pittsburgh and TJ Watt.
And
Shad Khan is a con man.
Jalen Ramsey doesn't move the needle for Pittsburgh at all because either 1, he's hurt, and 2, he's past his prime. Sure, he's fine, but you're still worse than Kansas City. You're still worse than Cincinnati. You're still worse than Buffalo. You're still worse than Baltimore. You're still worse than LA. You're still worse than Denver. You're still worse than probably who's in the East that I'm forgetting. Not the East because the East is terrible. Houston, I take over them right now.
We got to see if CJ Stroud makes that jump.
Okay, fine. But a team from the AFC South automatically makes the playoffs. So then again, if you're Pittsburgh, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
nothing. True. I mean, Shad Khan he's a con man. He keeps making you believe the Steelers organization is doing these great things. They haven't done jack squat in the last couple of years, and every single time they make a move, it's like, ooh, Jalen Ramsey, but he's at the end of his career, and you trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the bigger story here is why are you trading? Sign the best defensive player on your team.
That's what I'm saying.
Sign the best player on your team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I honestly like this move for Miami much better. Much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that.
Like I don't think Miami's a good football team.
Miami's a little lost.
Oh no, Miami's trash. And Tyreek Hill wants out, so
yeah, I think Tyreek Hill is going to get traded. I'll still stand on it.
Yeah, because he's figuring out that Patrick Mahomes is better than Tua CTE Tagovailoa.
All that shit talking about Tua. I mean, Tua can do what Pat do. No, he can't.
He can't even see straight.
Craziest statement ever.
I know, he was wilding.
Who's in a better situation right now, the Steelers or the Dolphins?
It's Steelers because the Dolphins, I was a proponent of saying, why would you sign Tua? He can't stay healthy. Because think about it. Next year, Pittsburgh will have their choice at quarterback, either in the draft or free agency, and the Dolphins are still stuck with a 6-foot immobile left-handed quarterback who can't keep his brain still.
I'm going to go a little different. I think Miami is in a better position. I don't think Miami's good. I don't think Miami's going to make the playoffs, but long-term right now. Even if they get rid of Tyreek Hill, you have a wide receiver 1 in Jalen Waddle.
I think that's true.
You have piece. Oh, you go first.
No, I kind of cut you off though.
I cut you off all the time.
I'm just agreeing that real quick before you finish. I'm just agreeing because now I'm thinking about it. You do have the assets. I think they have the better assets.
They have the assets. I think they have the better coach right now. I think Mike McDaniel's a better coach.
What?
Moving forward, I think Mike McDaniels is the better coach.
No, I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
No.
He's a gimmicky coach.
No.
He's a much better.
We're talking about Mike fucking Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, who hasn't done anything in the playoffs since 2018.
I mean, he's done a whole lot more than Mike McDaniel.
I'll take him over Mike
McDaniel's
McDaniel.
an ascending coach. Mike Tomlin has been like this.
McDaniel's gonna get fired in the next 3 years. He's gonna get fired
He might be.
because Dolphins they can't do anything with
And
the
who's-
Dolphins.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't done anything.
and Tomlin won't get fired because he has tenure.
That's
He's
true.
He's literally like a middle school team.
But I think he's a better overall coach. If you ask who's the best,
Okay.
better offensive
Okay.
coach, yes, McDaniel.
Okay. Fine. That's fair. Miami's in a better situation right now because the AFC North for the rest of the decade is Baltimore and Cincinnati. The AFC East is just Buffalo, and it's going to be Buffalo.
That's true.
New England got better. The Jets are never winning the division as long as I'm alive. Let's be clear.
But think about it.
Miami
the Dolphins they've been to the playoffs for 24 years.
They have been to the playoffs. They haven't.
I mean,
won
they
a
haven't
playoff
won
game.
in 24 years.
They haven't. But going forward, which quarterback would you rather have? Tua Tagovailoa or the Steelers quarterback Jumbo Mumbo?
I would rather have a crumble cookie from outside than Tua Tagovailoa. He's 6 foot, left-handed,
Yeah, I don't want
immobile,
Tua. I don't want
and he
Tua.
can't stay on the field.
I don't want to.
I would never have signed him if I was a Dolphins. I would have said, I'm taking my luck with Skylar Thompson for a year.
And I still think they're in a better situation than Pittsburgh.
That might be true, just
still
because
think
of the
they're in a better-
division.
No, I
I'll
agree
give you
with
just
you.
because of the division, but I'm saying, think about it. The next couple of years, Tyreek's going to be gone. Tua's not getting re-signed out for his performance.
No.
And Mike McDaniel might get fired.
But you have skill positions. You have Jalen Waddle. You have Devin
That's what I'm
Achane.
saying. Like, I think they have. I think yeah.
I
they-
really like Cam Smith.
Their
they're in a better,
roster's
they're
more
in a better
solidified.
position. They're in a better position division wise, and they're in a better position trade wise because they have the assets.
Right.
They have the better assets than Pittsburgh.
Right now, but I'm saying in 3 years, all those assets are going to be gone.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, though, like it's because they could trade them though and get value back.
Yeah, right now.
That's true, but what are they getting back from Tyreek?
I mean, what are you going to get back from DK Metcalf
Yeah.
in 2 years?
That's true.
Well, that you're not going to get back from Tyreek Hill.
That's true, but Tyreek Hill is going to be gone, and DK's at least still going to be producing for the Steelers. And he's going to be number one receiver. So it's not like they're going to trade him. I think he's going to be productive for them.
I mean, yeah, I just don't know. I
Both
think
those-
they have the better.
Because if you ask me
I
Tyreek
think they
Hill,
have the better trade.
okay, if you ask me Tyreek Hill or DK Metcalf, I'm taking Tyreek Hill, but he's not going to be on that squad in the next 2 or 3 years. DK still will be.
Would you take DK Metcalf or Jalen Waddle?
As my number one,
Yeah, sure.
I'm taking DK as my number one.
I'll argue.
I think Jalen Waddle is a great receiver. I just don't know what he looks like as a number one on a good team yet.
Okay.
In DK, I've seen him perform well. He has kind of declined from the Seahawks from the start, but I know DK can be the guy. It's just he's had Geno Smith at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go to class, and I'll let you guys wrap it up. But both those teams are third best in their division.
Yeah, facts.
New England and Buffalo are better than Miami, and Cincinnati and Baltimore are better than.
Yeah, because New England's going to be good for a while.
New England's gonna be good for a while.
And they keep upgrading
New England's gonna
pieces.
be good. Anyway, I gotta go to class. I'm gonna end you with this: Brooklyn Nets, sign yourselves up for Cancun 2026.
I mean, there's not much else. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Was there any more NFL news, or was that it in terms of trades?
I think that was it, really.
That was it?
There
All
hasn't been much in the NFL.
All right, smooth.
All right.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
That is all we have for today. Jake, as you see, is packing up because he has class.
For now.
For now. For now. As always, continue to run up our YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your mom, your grandma. Run up our socials too. TikTok. We got to post some stuff on Instagram. Run up our YouTube shorts. All that fun stuff.
Sir.
Comment your favorite free agency move, NBA free agency move. Yeah. As always. You want anything to say?
Nah.
All right.
Got nothing.
As always, stay fly.